Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between Liquid MaNa and Polt on Prion Terraces. Alright, in the top of Prion Terraces, we have the blue Terran player. It is Polt, the South Korean Terran player who everybody knows and everybody loves. What more can I say about this guy? He's been a terror all the way since Warcraft 3, a semi-pro human player back then. And again, early success for Team Prime. He's been around in different teams, but right now he's playing for CM Storm. And in the bottom of Prion Terraces, we have the red Protoss player. It is Liquid MaNa, obviously playing for Team Liquid. Now again, this is from WW3, a 16-player invitational that was held by Root Gaming just a few days ago. The replay was found on lotb.spawningtool.com. Go ahead and head over there for your replay needs to find build orders and find amazing play-by-players from all over the world. It is a good resource, and I highly encourage you to check it out. Alright, so right now, Polt is going for, looks like a Rax Expand here, Reaper Expand, getting the timing on the refinery earlier than the barracks. Gonna have gas available in order to get that Reaper out, and as well, MaNa going for a Gateway first into a Nexus, a Gateway Expand. Again, both very standard plays here in Legacy of the Void. Again, Polt, just an incredible Terran player. MaNa's been around for a long time as well, has many tournament wins under his belt. We'll have to see who comes out on top today. Alright, Barrack's going to finish. Let's see if that Reaper comes out. The rally point does indicate it is going to be a Reaper, and indeed it is. Here comes the Reaper. The probe should scout this out. And the Reaper Expand. The expand part means you throw down a command center as soon as that Reaper comes out there as well. Just enough minerals to do so, and perfect. There it goes, right on time, every time. That is Polt for you, ladies and gentlemen. Probe comes right on up, sees exactly what's going on, recognizes the single gas, sees the orbital command, sees the barrack, says, okay, there's definitely a Reaper coming. Can he accidentally block that for half a second? He does. At this level, I'm not sure that made a huge difference, but maybe it slowed down the supply depot just enough to supply block Polt in the later game. I don't know. Butterflies, man. The butterfly effect is real. Stalker being chrono boosted out should be enough to deal with this Reaper, which is actually chasing after the probe. Can the probe run? It's like a horror movie. Probe, run. Run for your life. It's the pretty girl running through the woods. There's a guy with their hatchet chasing after me. What do I do? Just keep running. Dodge behind trees. Try to hide in the leaves. Oh, and just barely outside of the range of that Reaper, the Reaper decides to give up pursuit of that probe and head on in to see what it can kill in the meantime. This probe is in a bit of a dangerous position, but the Stalker is ready for it. Bam! Stalker getting a shot off, 2 shots. Oh, 3 shots on the Reaper. Not enough to kill it, and the Reaper does have this combat drugs ability that regenerates life quickly when he is out of combat. So he's going to go ahead and drug back up and possibly come back in for another scout because he didn't get any information at all. Mothership Core as well is single in her purpose to make sure that nobody hops up this ledge. I don't know, maybe a Reaper possibly could do that. Exactly what's going on as well. Terran player going for, indeed, looks like a double barracks into factory with a second gas as well. And yeah, at this point, the Terrans have pretty much been going for like a Marine Marauder Tank Liberator type play with some medevacs mixed in as well. So it's basically an MMM with Liberators tacked on. Would be surprised if we don't see a starport coming up fairly soon from Polt. And immediately a Cyclone. I'm a huge liar. It's actually a Cyclone coming out of this factory. Alright, that's pretty good. Stargate also on the way from MaNa. Where the heck is that Stargate? Oh, here it is, down here. So Stargate response. Again, I'm not sure if MaNa didn't really scout this out. I don't think it's in a reaction to anything particular that Polt has done. But Polt, look at you. I haven't seen a Cyclone on my channel in like 2 weeks. Alright. Well, congratulations. You are making use of Legacy of the Void units, and that makes me root for you. So here comes the Cyclone. Just an amazing unit here. Does have these basic attacks. Typhoon missile pods. Does 18 damage. A range of 5. Weapon speed of 0.71. Pretty good, but this is the big hitter. Lock on. Locks the Cyclone's weapons on a target unit, dealing 400 damage over 14 seconds to ground targets and flying targets. It can move while firing, and it cancels if the target moves out of range. So I think this is looking specifically for Oracles. Finally getting rid of that Reaper. KD8 charge did knock that back just a little bit, and indeed, yep, that's an Oracle flying on over. So the Oracle only has 160 hit points, which means the lock-on ability will completely kill an Oracle in less than half of the cast time. So we'll have to see if the response time for MaNa is good enough, because if it flies in there and this Oracle gets locked on, it will die maybe after a couple worker kills, but definitely not be cost effective, and at this level this can really snowball out of control. So here comes MaNa flying right in. There's the lock-on ability. Gets a couple shots off. Look at that. Taking down all of the shields on the Oracle immediately. And it backs out. Again, good reaction time by MaNa. Didn't lose any of these hit points. But did say, Alright, so Polt has a Cyclone. Is he continuing to make Cyclones, or is that just a one to deal with Oracle harass? Entirely possible. I don't see any more in production. The unit tab shows us a single Cyclone here. A lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders. The Oracle comes flying on in here. Might get actually a few worker kills. Indeed, picks up an SCV. A couple Marines get burned down at the same time. Another SCV does end up getting killed. Oh, 4 kills there on the Oracle, and throws down a Revelation on the unit so he knows exactly where they are at all times. Man, making use of those abilities is MaNa. Excellent, excellent play from both of these players thus far. Blink being researched for MaNa. 2 forces coming up for those upgrades that are so very, very important, especially in this particular place. Polt throwing down that lock-on ability, trying to kill the Oracle again, going onto the high ground. Woo! Actually, across this gap to live. That's not high ground. It kind of looked like it was, though. Almost died. Almost died. Is this a single Cyclone harass play, or is he just hunting for that Oracle? Probably just hunting for the Oracle, I'd have to say. It doesn't really look intent on coming up this ramp. There's a lot of Stalkers there. That's way too many Stalkers for a single Cyclone to handle. And this probe, just about enough money to throw down a Nexus right in the front of that Cyclone space, but it moves. Moves out of the way, and might actually accidentally run into these Stalkers here. No, I think Polt saw it, but I'm not sure that MaNa did. Oh, lock-on ability, going to try to take care of it. No! Cannot kill the Oracle before it escapes on out of there. Immortals on the way. Resonating Glaives on the way. +1/+1 for MaNa. Blinking onto the Cyclone. Does manage to kill it with a single Stalker. And the Cyclone falls, not having killed anything. Cyclone not fulfilling its purpose. Ghost Academy on the way for Polt, as well as Widow Mines, Combat Shield, Marines, Marauders, Medevacs, and Adepts and Immortal seems to be the tech of choice. Finally, the Oracle dies. Not to the Cyclone, but to Marines. I guess it makes a lot of sense. They have a Revelation on them again. Cast Revelation as soon as the Oracle died. Oh, Oracle, you will live on in our hearts forever. Well played indeed, my good friend. Push on out here on the front. No Cyclones in this army, just Marines and Marauders. He doesn't care who sees him. Is MaNa going to be ready for this? It's an excellent question, and I don't know the answer to it. Force fields do catch a single Marine. He gets destroyed by the attack from Stalkers. Technically, it's a particle disruptor, which I tend to forget because I don't ever look at it. But anyway, particle disruptor there. Dancing back and forth. Revelation lasts forever. Look how long this lasts. There we go. Finally ending there. Just Marine, Marauder, Medevacs, Ghost now in production by Polt. And MaNa trying to do what he can. Almost losing a Stalker. Blinks it out of there just in time. Woo! Couple Stalkers there. Almost dying. Not quite sure what to do. Robotics Bay on the way for MaNa as well. So Resonating Glaives just about to finish. +1/+1 just about to finish. Immortals are winning this army now. Very, very useful indeed. But well, I wonder if he's going for Disruptor play instead of for Storm. Alright. MaNa, you do what you need to do. I'm not going to second guess you at this point. It is 132 to 126 total supply. MaNa looking A-OK. 59 to 46 Harvesters has this third base up before the Terran player. And here comes a drop though, but Stalkers are ready. They focus down the Medevacs. All the Medevacs are completely gone. There are enough Adepts and Stalkers here to clean this up, but just barely. Another attack rolls on into the third base here. There's no army to meet this one. Unfortunately for MaNa, all the pylons get burned down and then they go for the Nexus just because Photon Overcharge is such a big threat. And no, MaNa just concedes. MaNa loses the Nexus. Polt moves back on out. He's going to try to get a sandwich on these units, and he does. Whoa! EMP being thrown down, taking the shields out on a lot of these, but the Ghosts do end up falling. The sandwich is not something Polt wants to go for, using the high ground advantage here as well. But again, blinking forward, the Stalkers are just focusing down Medevacs, allowing the rest of the units to clean up these ground units. Excellent, excellent play by MaNa indeed. Can he blink forward? He does. He blinks forward again. Almost. Oh, he does manage to pick up the Medevac just barely. Replanting his third base here is MaNa. He's up 120 to 87 total supply. MaNa looking very, very strong. He's going to try to blink into the main. I think there's a Widow Mine on the high ground that has something to say about that, but no. Nothing to spot for the high ground here for MaNa. Instead, there is, again, a Nexus coming up and a Warp Prism for MaNa, looking possibly for some multi-pronged harassment. The Psionic Transfer just scouts on in, sees exactly what Polt has here, and it's not that much. A couple Medevacs, some Marines, some Marauders, and no third base. I'm not sure MaNa wants to go up there. I feel like if MaNa can keep Polt on 2 bases while sitting here on third base, 3 bases himself, it might be enough to win the game. He's going to play this, I think, a little bit safely, a little bit conservatively, and try to make this happen, which can be a problem because Polt is an aggressive player that will not take kindly to being trapped inside his own base. Another Psionic Transfer Scout comes right on in for MaNa. APM right now for these players, well over 200 average for the game, 200 right now as well. Resources lost tab, 4,400 minerals, 1,500 gas lost for Polt. MaNa, 2,600 minerals, 700 gas. And yeah, I mean, at this point, I see disruptors on the way. I see +2 attack, +2 armor as well. Just upgrading the units that he has, getting a spread, making sure Polt doesn't sneak anything past him. Trying to make sure no drops come out, I think, is the intent of these adepts. Just covering. Yeah, he has Polt completely locked in here. Can't go anywhere without getting spotted. It's 154 to 139 total supply. The longer these probes mine, the worse it gets for Polt. Polt needs to try to break this. I think he recognizes it. He does scan the small units, the small armies at the front. He stims forward, comes right on down with a few Marines. What is he trying to do? That's not enough Marines to break that for sure. Were they just scouting or there was a scan? I don't know. Liberators coming out there for Polt. There we go. A little bit later than I expected, but the Liberators are on the way. They might be able to break this using Defender mode, but I don't know. MaNa looking really good here. Sentry does get taken down. Polt saves every single one of his units, recognizing that every soul is precious to CM Storm Polt. And here he comes. Defender mode circles being thrown on up, pushing in to the safety of those circles. Purification Nova rolls on it and misses everything. Another Nova might come out here as well. Guardian Shield coming out. This small group of Marines not in a good place at all, but standing on in, doing what they can. A bunch of Marines and Marauders are getting killed. Adepts dying at the same time. Trying to throw Revelation on these army is the Oracle, and she dies as well. Immortals on the front lines. Purification Nova not available from these disruptors. Slowly whittling down. And oh, Purification Nova does not actually hit anything there at all. Another Nova comes up. Good dodge once again in a pickup by Polt, but he doesn't break out. He's still not able to take a third base. MaNa in a very strong position indeed. Ghost count looking pretty darn good though. 5 ghosts available, pushing out Polt. Yep, MaNa realizes that it was a futile effort to try to contain Polt for that long. And here comes Polt. He is mad for being put in jail for that long. MaNa has a lot of money in the bank. He's spending it though, with Adepts, with Zealots, with Immortals. Trying to make sure this push does not kill him because it does look a little bit intimidating. Another Nova comes up, doesn't hit much of anything. Like I said, like I always say, Terran players have a lot of practice dodging that sort of thing. Another Nova comes up, does actually get a few kills off, killing ghosts. No less. Disruptors on the front lines, not where they want to be. Needs to back out. No, does get taken down as well. Marines, Marauders trying to snipe down individual units that are being warped on in. Zealots that don't have Zealot charge, not as effective. Another Disruptor on the front lines. MaNa losing another Disruptor here. A few Stalkers, but they're just getting absolutely murdered by Polt's units. +1/+1 on these guys, as well as the medevac support and the stim. And are they forced back? There are not enough units here available. He finally did manage to take a third base. That's exactly what Polt needed to do. 97 and 97 total supply. 99 now for Liquid MaNa, pushing in once again. Adepts trying to kill what they can. They do well against the Marines, not so well against the Marauders. That's what the Immortals are for here. Pretty good compositions. Kiting back as best he can here is Polt. This Widowmine wanting to kill stuff, but it's on cooldown, unfortunately. Killing a medevac in the air. Another small group of Marauders. Ghosts taking shots to the face from those particle Disruptors, getting Marauders as well here as MaNa. +2 attack on these guys, looking fantastic. Focusing down yet another medevac and another medevac. This one pretty low on energy as well. Finally, everything gets cleaned up. A small group pushing out for Polt as well. But look at this. Polt taking a 4th base in the midst of all that action. Going for a 4th, recognizing he did a pretty big hit on MaNa there. And here comes the Terran Parade moving across the map. Marines, Marauders coming forward, just continuing to put pressure on MaNa. Getting those medevacs, though, worth its weight in gold, though. The Stalkers really doing what they need to do. So many medevacs have died in this game. Look at this. 13 have fallen to MaNa and his Particle Disruptor Stalkers. But look at this. Polt continuing to mine, continuing to get gas, continuing to build on all of his buildings exactly as he needs to do. A few Adepts try to sneak on in and kill 1 or 2 of these workers. The army responds for Polt. They should get burned down immediately, and they do. Psionic Transfer not enough to save this Adept, although she tried. Warp Prism is here as well. If it's not careful, these Marines will stem up and kill it. Another push forward from MaNa. There is a Widowmine here with 0 kills and 24 hit points remaining. Observer coming on up. Another one in production, just in case it's necessary for MaNa. And he just kind of skirts past this Widowmine, pushed on up to this space that isn't really defended. Does he know that it's there? Finally taking the Widowmine out. And the army, yes, recognizing there is a base here, sending some adepts back there as well. Some force fields coming up at the same time. Defender mode circles, that's not something MaNa wants to engage in. And where are the adepts? Oh, it looks like they canceled. They have the high ground advantage here, but defender mode is really good as well. Not moving out of it here is MaNa. SCVs being pulled off the line as well, sniping down individual adepts and individual stalkers. Look at this SCV defense here at the same time for Polt. Oh, another push as well coming in from Polt. He's going to try to smash down everything. There's not much here to defend. Oh no, this does not look good at all for the Protoss player. But again, if he can take down this pace, he might be in an okay spot as well as he can defend here as well. And actually somehow winning the day there was MaNa. 3 SCVs are left for Polt. How is that even possible? There are 3. Lost everything here. Lost everything here. This small group of units is all that is left for Polt. He's trying to snipe down as many workers as he can. Get rid of this Nexus as well. It's a very, very low econ game right now. 40 to 75 total amount of food for these players in favor right now of MaNa. This base does not even bother lifting off against this adept attack. They do 27 damage versus light, 12 damage in all. Attack speed 1.11. Adepts coming in, killing mules, making sure that Polt can't get back on his feet. Incredible indeed. Adepts just standing on in, not worrying about the upgrades available on these bio units, trying to kill the Marines as well. The Marauders standing on in, taking not much damage whatsoever. Adepts causing buildings to fall, causing them to burn. Polt is down to 1 singular SCV. The adepts are trying to snipe on in here and kill what they can. Finally, this group of Marines and Marauders killed this base. What is left? What is left for these players? I don't know. Polt finally cleans it up, stimming forward, stutter stepping. He does pick up the Warp Prism. Regathering his forces right now. The units tab shows 5 Marauders, 8 Marines. 2 observers is all that's left for MaNa though. He's long distance mining, trying to get enough minerals to actually throw down another Nexus. This does not look good for a Protoss player. It really does not. Polt rushing on in, trying to throw down the killing blow, recognizing there's nothing left for MaNa. He's going after these workers. The only advantage that MaNa had were these 42 SCVs. They are getting decimated, and that's it. MaNa throwing down the good game. I've learned a big lesson today. MaNa's defeated, Polt is victorious, and MaNa has left the game. Woo! Really great PvT. Holy smokes, I love these pro games so much. I hope you do as well, because it's really a joyful experience, to be entirely honest. All right, so Polt, again, on his back foot, having lost all but 1 SCV, was able to get a small group down here and kill this Nexus. As soon as he did that, he was in a really good spot. It was almost mined out anyway, but there were enough minerals there to let MaNa recover if necessary. And yeah, that decision, I think, is what won him the game. Losing all those medevacs was huge. The Stalker control by MaNa was massive as well. Just a hugely important part of the game at the same time. And yep, just came down a really, really close, nail-bitingly close game there for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thanks for watching, and you take care of yourself.